Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. O Allah, open up the door of wisdom on us, make our work easy, and remove the utterance of my tongue so that people should understand. Regarding trust, you might have seen that I put a very bigger word over here. Now, why trust is very important? I take a metaphor. I say that if you see that building, so that building is being built upon one brick onto the other. All right, so that if you put a lot of hundreds and thousands of bricks, it cannot hold this building all together. What is the main thing which is required in order to hold this building together is actually that cement, is actually that stuff which you put in between the bricks, because once that cement is in between the bricks, it hold them, it actually bound them together to stay over there. I took this example as a metaphor, as a trust in our life, that if we are having a strong trust, so whether that trust, we are having a strong family bondage, we having a strong working relationship with our colleagues, etc. Now, question is why that trust is very important. I remember that one of the story I might have shared with you. Let me reflect upon what is the trust which I have got out of that. I was a trainee engineer almost 25, 30 years back with my first job. And I was been there, and I have to take some of the vacation or some of the leaves over there because I have to attend my sister's marriage, and because as a trainee engineer I don't have the leaves altogether. But one of the important aspect what I was having was a very strong bond with my manager. He was such a gem of a person that I feel always secure talking to him, and I always have no issues with him whenever I communicate with any sort of stuff. So I was double-minded. Should I go back to my city and just send the fake medical because ultimately I have to attend, or should I talk to my manager and straight away I have to ask him that whatsoever the things I need as a leave for myself? I opted the option number 2 because of that strong trust which I was been having. So what I did, I walked back to my manager and I said, sir, I have some of the justified reason with myself, but I do not have any leaves available for me because I carry a strong element of trust with you. So I'm here to tell you, I thought initially that I should go back to my city and just to send you a fake medical, but it does not go very well within myself. I thought I should share this thing with you. Sir, can't you help me with anything? Because I have to take a leave, but there are no leaves. Now, when he listened to that, and he had a bit of smile on his face, and he looked towards me, and he said, Kamran, I really appreciate your truthfulness, and I'm being happy that you carry that element of trust towards me. Because you are truthful on that aspect, I don't want to penalize you on your truth, and I'm going to do whatsoever I can in order to facilitate you that although you don't have any leaves, but you've been given a leave. Anyway, the long story short, he himself took me around and he went to the admin department and make all the efforts to bring the leaves for myself, which was not been there, but he facilitated. And that element of trust is strongly been there even after 30 years. I had a lot of regard for this thing and the bond which has created, which actually on the one event I have felt so much intense within myself. Now, question is, if I ask you that sort of stuff, how can we establish a trust? Now, that is the important thing. Trust is a sort of belief. So what is a sort of belief which I carry for my relations? What is the sort of trust which I carry for my colleagues around? Now, let's look into that. There is one of the trust has been built upon in some of the interesting equation which I'm going to show you right now. And that trust say, let me just converge it, that trust is actually, whenever you look into that, is simply being defined into this equation. I hope you can see that I have written C plus R plus I divided by O. That is actually the whole philosophy of trust over here. Now, whenever I'm going to talk about, you may ask a question, Kamran, what exactly the C stand for? Now, when I talk about what C stand for, C is actually the element of credibility. Credibility. Now, how the credibility came? What is the way the credibility came? The credibility came by virtue of that, of my character, that whatsoever I'm saying to you, how much you feel that it is truthful, how much you have a belief on it, that whatsoever the words, whatsoever the statement, whatsoever the promises I've been making with you, these are truthful. The more the credibility I'm having, that is just one component of it. What are the promises I've been making? How much I've been going to stand by my promises? And am I being the person who actually whatsoever I say? The second aspect came, which is called how much my reliability is. How much I'm reliable. So saying is one thing, reliability is another thing. How the reliability came? Reliability came that whatsoever the things which I'm saying, how much I'm the practitioner of it. So I'm making a bigger statement, but the question is, it's not about my words, it's about my character, how I'm been implementing to that. So that is more important. For example, if I keep on asking people, hey guys, you have to come on time, you know time is very important, time is very precious, there are so many methodologies you can do a sort of time. Now, every time I make a big statement about the timekeeping, you will not get impressed by my statement unless until you will not see that how much I'm a practitioner of it. How much I've been actually keep myself with the time. So my reliability came when I'm being a practitioner of whatsoever the things, good thing I'm saying. So I hope it sounds sense to you now. So reliability and credibility. Now the third thing is, which is very important, I stand for intimacy. Intimacy. Now what intimacy is all about? As a human being, where I always say that we are not the human beings who are going through a spiritual experience. Actually, we are the spiritual beings who are going through a human experience. It means emotions had a lot of space in my life. I get impacted with the emotions. So intimacy means how much empathetic I've been able about my relations, about the people around. It's not about myself, it's about how much the feelings I carry. If some of my colleagues are having some sort of challenges or issues and things like that, or my family members, they have been going through some sort of challenges, how much empathetic, how much feelings I carry about that. So if I'm having credibility, if I'm having a reliability, and if I'm having an intimacy, that is actually make up the major aspect of the trust. But what does that O stand for? And that O has an inverse proportion with the trust as well. O is a very interesting aspect. O stands for my self-orientation. My self-orientation. Now what is self-orientation is, self-orientation say, where do I focus? Do I focus on myself or do I focus on others? Do I focus on myself? Do I focus on the others? So if I'm having a bit of focus to the other person's need, if I'm having a care about their feelings, if I'm a man of my word, whatsoever the things which I've been doing, actually, I'm been actually saying it and I'm been practicing it, that makes us the element of trust in my life, in my relationship. Now, for example, if everything is there, but the question is my self-orientation, I'm having a self-centered person, for example. I've been more caring about my needs. I've been more caring about myself as compared to any other one. So if you see in this equation, the trust is inversely proportional to the self-orientation. So the more I'm having a self-focus, the lesser amount of trust I can carry with my teams and with my families around. The more I've been caring about the other people's needs and to understand them and to empathize with them and having a reliability and having a credibility, the more element of trust I carry. My dear friend, this is actually a world-renowned equation which I have mentioned over there. It is called a trust equation. It's universally accepted that this trust equation can be applied. It has been devised by Charles Green. Amazing. He has written a lot of books onto that. So I was thinking that I should come up with some amazing concept that you have to, I recommend, if you write it down, this equation for yourself, and just test in all your relationship, whether it is with your team, whether in your family, you can identify where the improvement required. Maybe it is on the self-orientation, maybe it is about the emotion, maybe it is about my reliability, or whether it is about my credibility. So you can give yourself self-evaluation, for example, on a scale of 1 to 10 in your relationship with your work, where you have been right now as a manager. Are you at 10? Are you at 5? Are you at 3? Are you at 4? Similarly, in terms of reliability, do your self-evaluation. What exactly your team members can give you if you have to ask them where you rank yourself. Similarly, you can get an idea. All right.